Hello.
Hello.
Just turning on my Do Not Disturb.
I do not have my Do Not Disturb on, so I might be disturbed. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome. We hope you're having a happy Tuesday afternoon or whenever you're watching this.
Sorry, I'm finding cat hair.
Maybe it's a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night. I already had to shoo the cat off the table once today.
Did you?
He's very upset about that.
Well.
So I'm not on the cat's good list right now.
No.
Yeah.
In the doghouse with the cat.
In the doghouse with the cat. I'm Sean.
I'm Lizzie.
And this is Stitching Live.
Yeah, with Posture Design.
With Lizzie and Sean. Today, yes. We already have it on the screen, I guess, in a little pop-out window there.
Pop-out window. Is it upside down? It is upside down.
I have no idea. I suppose it is upside down. You don't want your scissors to fall out, do you?
No.
Today we're stitching our Scissor Keeper die.
They won't, because there's a special closure.
So whether you're watching live or watching later, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks for making us a part of your day and your crafting life.
Indeed.
We're excited that you're here.
Yes.
And I'm going to let Lizzie talk about this project now.
Oh, you know what I left downstairs?
No, what did you leave downstairs?
The magnets.
Okay.
They're on the coffee table.
So it looks like we won't be making this a magnetic project after all, will we? Oh, I'll be right back.
I'm sorry.
I tried my hardest, everybody.
I had to run out to the barn to get thread literally 3 minutes ago, so...
Where are the magnets?
Team effort. They're on the coffee table.
Oh my gosh, okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure they're on the coffee. Anywho, today we're going to make a scissor keeper. And the reason that we need the magnets, we're going to make this magnetic version. Can you see? Yes, you can see it. You can also do like a ribbon tie or something, but the magnetic version, all the bits and pieces are included in the die, so we figured we would show you that today. Uses a 15 millimeter by 3 millimeter magnet. I don't know how to say the word. Oh, I can't, it's not even on here. Anyway, they're these big, strong, super heavy-duty magnets.
I thought you were talking about me there for a second. Big, strong, heavy duty.
You are heavy duty.
Heavy duty.
You are magnetic.
Oh, wow. Magnetic. Thank you. That's why I'm pulling all the viewers in with us today.
That's right.
Spectacular.
He's a charmer, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to make this scissor keeper. Well, not this, but we're going to make a scissor keeper today. We're going to make it in Cabana again.
Oh. To
coordinate with the needle book that we did a couple of weeks ago, because I think I might give this to Tilly.
What's she gonna do with it?
Well, I have all those blunt needles now, and she's been very interested in stitching things. So
she's gonna get a pair of blunt scissors.
No, well, she already has safety scissors.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I have no more questions, Your Honor.
She has scissors.
Okay.
And this way she'd have a little set.
Great.
Because safety scissors, we have learned, are still able to cut through hair. So I think they'll have no problem with thread.
Indeed.
So anywho, that's what we're going to do today.
Sounds great.
And this die comes with the basic scissor keeper shape, the big shape.
Scroll it down there. I can't see it. All I can see is part there. That's the basic scissor keeper shape.
I'm working it out.
I'm doing everything I can.
Thank you.
Okay.
There's this strap shape. There's the attachment for the strap on the back here. Okay. That I've got. Oops, sorry. That's on the back of this scissor keeper here. You can see.
I see it there.
The X's are decorative. You really only need to do the around the edges thing.
Okay.
And then there is this circle that we can use to hide the magnet. Because here you can see like the circle stitched on the outside. But when you look inside, it's a nice smooth
surface
pocket.
So when you slide your scissors into your scissor keeper, they're not catching on the magnet. Okay.
But if you didn't want to do the double layered pocket itself, I'll show you how we hide the magnet so that you can decide whether or not you even want to use all those layers of felt. So that's what we're going to do today.
That's great.
Yeehaw. So I have cut my parts out of Cabana, as I said. There are interior pocket layers in poolside.
Yeah, the poolside's going to be the interior, and the orchid is going to be the exterior.
Correct.
Since it's for Tilly.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Not for me.
Not for you.
And the cerulean is the strap.
Okay.
And then we've got a Dahlia Blossom tea. And then we'll do the gecko in the stitching.
When you said Dahlia Blossom tea, I thought there was suddenly a beverage was entered the table there.
No, but that does sound delightful.
Like you had made some tea out of a dahlia. I don't know if you had tea from a Dahlia Blossom would be delicious.
Well, it just sounds like it would
All of our foragers in the chat an hour later can let us know.
I'm not sure that it actually would be, but it sounds like it would be good. Okay, so these viney bits are these ones here that I just pulled out from the needle book.
Okay,
so that they would coordinate.
Okay.
The Scissor Keeper itself does not come with any like fancy designy type things in it. So that's up to you if you want to add in.
It doesn't have any decorative elements, is what you're trying to say. The Scissor Keeper comes with...
That is a much clearer way to put what I just said.
The Scissor Keeper comes with all the standard shapes that you need to cut out pieces of felt.
Yes.
To create a Scissor Keeper, a functional piece of felt for yourself or a friend. So if you want to decorate it with things like flowers or bees or greenery or
need those
lettering of any kind, or perhaps the date or something like that.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Those would be from other
Okay.
guys. So I'm just going to do these vine images on the front here. Now, I actually flipped over the cutting. So this is the wrong side for the vines. I just die cut from the back.
The vines came from Garden Trimmings or from Gather Garden?
From the needle book.
Oh, from the needle book.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Though Garden Trimmings would look really pretty on this too.
Well, of course it would look really pretty on this too.
But I wanted it to look like to coordinate with the one that we did the other day. So I just pulled the imagery or the elements from the needle book. So I'm going to do the leafy parts first. So I'm using 6 strands of thread. I almost always use 3 strands, but 6 strands for the leafy parts here.
There's a lot of chatter about preferring designy bits. Tokash prefers the phrase designy bits. That's great. And we've got some people who are finishing quilts while we watch today.
Ooh,
someone's working on some gloves for bell ringing. There you go.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's fancy.
A lot of hand stitching is happening thus far. And Barbara wanted to know, where is the gecko from?
The gecko's also in Cabana.
It's in Cabana. It's in the color story.
Yes.
The green Cabana.
This
you've got it right over there.
Here. 3819 is the thread color that we use for gecko.
And so that's what you're getting onto your needle right now.
Yes.
It's 6 strands, I think I heard you say.
Correct. So I'm going to do the Lazy Daisy parts first.
Okay. You always start with the Lazy Daisy parts first.
Yeah, generally speaking.
When there are Lazy Daisy parts.
Yeah, I like to do the stems second.
Stem second. Okay, so I'm just going to add a time code here because it seems like you're about to... It's imminent.
It's imminent.
Okay.
Here we go. All right, so I'm going to go up one side and down the other. It's my typical format here.
Okay.
So make a loop. Come up through the end hole for the leaf. Kind of pull to tighten it just enough. And I hold it down with my thumb.
Oh, Kelly's here making a ladybird fridge, or ladybug fridge magnet. I'm sure is what that is there.
No, they're also called ladybirds in other places.
Oh, are they? Okay, well then I'm sorry. There's an emoji in there that I can see.
The ladybird is generally used, I think Australia and maybe the UK use ladybird.
Well, I didn't have enough time to cross-reference Kelly's name in the chat with our database of crafters. So
fair enough.
Yeah. She says, LOL, the whole pattern behind the T on the felt looked kind of like the image of a gecko. Barbara thought that the whole pattern was a gecko. All of a sudden, she was like, wait, maybe I missed... Did I miss a pashta set?
You did not miss a die.
I didn't. Where do I get my Rainforest Cafe pashta set?
I will.
Kelly says, "Oh yes, I'm from the UK." There you have it. Okay, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Ladybugs were not called. They were called ladybirds in places.
Indeed.
So when they were named in the UK, obviously, I know that ladybugs got to the island before birds ever did. Because once you've seen a bird, you would never call a ladybug.
Would you stop?
You wouldn't do that. I mean, I know what a bird looks like.
Would it?
And I know what a bug looks like. Anyway. And I know what a lady looks like.
Move on.
Right? Okay, I'll move on. Okay.
Yeah, so we're just...
Wow, don't worry. Victoria's already sticking up for Kelly here in the chat. This is great. Everyone's showing their receipts on ladybirds. There you go. A ladybird to me is just that... There was that movie a few years ago, right?
Yes.
Like that's... Or Ladybird Johnson.
Saoirse Ronan.
When I think ladybird, that's where I go to after that, right?
Heard that.
Former First Lady.
Presidential wives, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I think ladybird.
Well... That's fair.
Even my water bottle's kind of cabana colored today.
It is kind of
think
cabana
about that,
colored
but yeah,
today.
my Nalgene is a little orchid and a little gecko over here.
It's true.
Okay, now if you, I know that we've stitched with Lazy Daisy and we've stitched with florally stem things on a semi-regular basis. But remind me, can you do another stitch other than the Lazy Daisy? On
you could probably do a straight stitch, or if you wanted to add a bunch of texture, you could just bead each. Like you could use a bugle bead on each leaf.
Okay.
That would make it look more like a pine bough, which would be kind of cool.
A bugle bead on every leaf, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, and if you did the bugle bead, I don't know that I've ever done any bugle beading. How many strands would that be?
I usually use 3.
Use 3, so you have to use...
I use 2 or 3. It depends on how much beading there is to do.
You have to use the beading needle.
Yes, for bugle beads you do need a beading needle.
Okay, so you're going to use a beading needle, which is really super thin and flexible, but you can still get 3 strands of thread through there, huh?
Yes.
Oh, see, Newberry's here. Ladybird, bet you guys probably also call it a swimming costume instead of a swimsuit. I bet... Is that a real thing? Andy's married to a wonderful woman from Scotland.
She is.
Which is the only time that Lizzie and I have been in the UK. I don't know if that's come up on these chats or not before.
I'm not sure. I think it has.
It says ladybirds are beetles, not bugs. So both of us are wrong. Thank you, Victoria. Rhonda says she's stitching an ice cream cone. Is that a thing, Andy? Somebody let me know. Do they call them swimming costumes rather than swimsuits? I would love to know the answer to this too while we're here today.
I feel like yes.
Yeah. Oh, Victoria just said bathers.
Oh.
Get your bathers on.
I like it.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, I like that. Does that mean that you jump in with a bar of soap then?
Well, we all need bathers here right now. Ooh, I put that in the wrong hole. So I'm going to go double back and fix my my mistake.
Wait, Kelly just said swimming cosie. Cosie? Cossie? Okay, that's good to know. This is wonderful.
It is a bajillion degrees here today.
Uh-huh. It is a bajillion degrees here today.
So
very,
hot.
very smoking, very warm.
I meant to look up what the conversion would be to Celsius so we could truly explain how hot it is to everyone who's watching.
I believe it is at least 34 degrees Celsius.
It is stinking hot.
Let's say.
It's also a 1,000,000% humidity. So we are looking at breathing soup.
We're breathing soup?
It is unpleasant. So hopefully...
I thought it was going to be warmer up here in the studio than it actually is. It feels really comfortable.
There's a vent right next to
I'm sitting right... I don't know that I can feel the vent per se. This chair is probably blocking it.
It might be closed, honestly.
No, there's air coming through the vent.
Yes, just because there's air coming through the vent doesn't mean it's open. We live in an old house.
Victoria, yes, you are doing your bit for Anglo-American relations. That's very nice. Yeah, we're aware they say aluminum differently, Andy.
Aluminum.
Thank you. Yeah, we're aware of that. There you go.
Sometimes I say it that way just for funsies. Because I had a camp counselor in school once.
Deb had the 1-2 punch. She had the heat yesterday and their AC broke.
Oh, no.
Waiting for a new one to be put in by the apartment maintenance team. Oh, hang in there.
We had friends who had their
AC friends
break.
And your sister.
And
your
my
sister is in the same boat there.
And
from
my
an
sister's
apartment.
in Tennessee, which is hotter than here.
A little bit warmer than it is here down in Tennessee. Yeah, that's my understanding of it at all times.
It is.
Yeah.
Not a good time.
So you said 2 to 3 strands for bugle beads.
Yes.
You can fit them onto the beading needle, and then they fit through the diameter of the bead. I wasn't sure if because you had to use such a different thinner needle, if that meant that you would also have to use maybe all the way down to 1.
No. You can use 2 to 3.
Okay, 2 to 3.
I usually use 3 just to make sure nothing like comes off over time.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it'll work out just fine.
Okay.
The needle itself, because it's the eye of the needle that really causes trouble when you're trying to thread a when you're trying to thread a needle. The eye is obviously the widest part of the needle, so that's why we use and sell the collapsible eye needles, because they're really fine wire, and then when they get squeezed inside your bead, it shrinks all the way down so that it's like the same thickness as a strand of thread. So you should be fine with 2 to 3 strands.
Got it. Okay. So that's something that you could do instead of a lazy daisy stitch. You could grab out your bugle beads if you wanted to.
Or you could do straight stitches, yes.
Or you could straight stitch it through there.
Yes.
But you've never done that, right? Have you never bugle beaded that way through a project before?
I've not, because it makes me think of Christmas. And so
Go ahead.
Now I want to do it. But I don't know that there's anything that I have.
The aluminum debate is the illuminating debate is raging on over here in the chat.
The aluminum debate?
A little bit how it gets spelled, how it gets pronounced, and Andy just let us know that he prefers tinfoil to avoid this heated debate.
Even though it's not made of tin.
Yeah, Renee, you're right. This has been August heat in June. That is true.
Gross.
It has definitely been August heat. A week like this it feels more like August to us in Ohio, which is why you'd almost always rather be in school in June than in August if you had to take your druthers in Ohio.
Yes.
Because usually August is the dog
so
days,
hot.
as they call it. Yeah.
But yes, it has been brutally hot, and
are you already on your second leaf?
Yes,
leaf cluster over there. Wow, you're just busting a move on these lazy daisy stitches.
I do try to get through the stuff people have seen me do 16 times before.
It's not about seeing this 16 times. We've got a real professional over here working her way through. As everybody can attest, it wasn't that long ago. It was 2 weeks ago where I spent the better part of an hour and a half. And when I got done with my hour and a half, my project is still sitting here. I got that many lazy daisy stitches done. It's this gecko shape here, and you've just gone ahead and essentially, I'm not even going to do the math if I get out my wristwatch calculator.
Well, and this is why Sean had to remind me. So last week we did that thing with the teenagers at the library.
Ah, yes.
And I was like, oh, we're just going to do this flower, and we'll do the lazy daisies on the petals, and then we'll get to teach them 2 stitches. And then Sean reminded me
and I was like, this is a bad plan.
He's like, not everyone can do
bad plan.
18 lazy daisy stitches in an hour, my dear.
No, if there is, every time there's a teen program, what we need to stick to is the running stitch. Straight stitches. If you're taking notes at home.
So we did.
And thinking about doing a posh event at your local library, you have to pick something that has straight stitches. Take it from me.
We did the straight stitches, and one poor young man.
He did great. He just took some time. He made a meal out of that project.
He did.
As they say in Hollywood. He made a meal out of that project.
He did. He ate.
Absolutely did.
For a minute.
But I noticed that you didn't nod off from the first one though, did you?
Yes, I did.
Did you really?
I did.
Wow. Okay. I was just so tied up in the conversation about aluminium.
Aluminium and temperatures and ladybirds. Yes.
Waving hello from the sunny, kind of rainy Alberta. We've got a Canadian fan in the house. That's great. We love Canadian fans too, because this is a bit of a hockey household.
It is.
The turnout at the teen event Newberry, it was 3 grown-ups and 2 teams. It was me. It was fine. It was Liz. It was our dear friend Amber, the librarian, who wanted us to come in there, and then we had the 2 teens do the turnout. Andy, is your daughter Andy still participating in all the summer reading programs? Because she, at one point in her life, was like the queen of the summer reading programs on both sides of the pond.
It's true.
So Andy's daughter would go to the UK to visit with her grandparents for the summer, and she would complete the summer reading program there in Kirkintilloch, outside of Glasgow, and then she would come back to the States and do the one here, the summer reading program here. You know, wild horses couldn't keep her away from the Dewey Decimal System.
Well, you know.
And there you go.
It has a draw. Okay. So there's our leafy bits.
Great.
You don't have to do the stems, but I'm going to do the stems.
Of course you're going to do the stems. We're only a week away from it being what is it? Not a Boxing Day. What is July the 1st in Canada?
Canada Day.
Is that just Canada Day?
Yes.
We're a week away from Canada Day.
We are.
Yeah, we're also sad the Oilers didn't win the Stanley Cup. Y'all need to get a goaltender. They need to get a goaltender. We've got to raise that save percentage above .890 up there in Edmonton. Good afternoon to you too, Tanya. Tanya's here now.
Fantastic.
Saying hello. Thanks everybody for saying hi.
All right, so I'm doing my stems.
Those look really nice. Look at that.
Thank you. Those are my...
That's my favorite. I know I've said this a million times. It's my favorite little pashta motif because it reminds me so much of coinage. Of coinage.
Yeah.
See, Andy said they're over there right now. I knew that Andy was not going to be able, for the first time, he was not going to go across the pond with his wife and daughter this year. This has never happened before.
It's the first time?
Yeah, I told you that when I got home from staying with him in March, I thought.
Oh,
yeah, for the first time. They couldn't get the schedules to sync up, so they're over there right now. Dang, Newberry, I wish I remember what week it was. I would have gotten the heck out of Dodge. This quilt is all Lori Holt fabric, and she can't wait to finish it. That sounds great, Karen.
All right, let's see here.
All right.
Now I'm switching to my preferred needle because that one has a smaller eye, and I like that one better.
Okay.
I think that this needle, we've been talking about this a lot. I think this needle is before our needle manufacturer changed the barrel and eye shape. Now that I've talked about it a million times.
I feel like I should be buying needles from eBay.
I have bought so many needles trying to find that same shape,
huh?
Oh my gosh.
You know, you never know until you actually get it in your fingers.
I would hazard, I don't even want to speculate how much money I've spent on needles.
All of a sudden I'm like, well, should we be reaching out to needle manufacturers? Are we at the level...
I don't know.
Are we at the level where you would be...
Where to begin?
What I wouldn't know where to begin is how you could give up your favorite needle to mail it to someone and be like, this exact profile, we need to resurrect this as the pashta design needle. Because if we did that...
You'd have to pry it out of my fingers.
If we did that, then I could get it in a blunt. I could get it in a blunt tip. And then we'd have...
Then it wouldn't be my needle.
His and hers. No, I'm saying you could have them make it both in a sharp and in a blunt.
I can only imagine how much that would cost.
Well, anyway, you can imagine how much...
We're doing a running stitch.
A running stitch to get through there?
Yeah.
You can only imagine how much what would cost.
Getting needles made.
Like just the minimum...
specifications.
Like meeting the... Oh, got it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But I can imagine it would not be an inexpensive venture. What'd Andy say now?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm catching up with Renee, who down in Tennessee is a Red Wings fan and wants to bring back the 5 Russians. Now we're talking, Renee.
Oh, man.
Man, no wonder she used to work at a Ben Franklin. This is great. This is great. And Karen, meanwhile, who's not the woman up in Alberta, said they had a good goalie out to injury. And then Newberry says he's got an empty house till Friday. Get on a spirit fright. Liz already seems to approve of the idea.
I think because he saw my face when you said you'd get out of Dodge and you weren't paying attention.
I didn't have to see your face. I heard it. I did not have to see your face. Let's see. Andy says Iron Brew and mint arrows. I don't recall mint arrows, Andy. Were those on the menu at the rehearsal dinner or otherwise?
The Iron Brew I do recall.
Ooh, Karen says she's a true Maple Leafs fan. Last time I checked, I'm not sure what the difference is between a true and a non-true Maple Leafs fan is, but I know that she's going to tell me. I don't think it's the difference between aluminum and aluminium, but we'll find out.
I'm going to continue with the other branch.
That's great. You're doing the other branch. Oh, Barbara's a fan of the tablet. There you go.
Oh, see, we had tablet and everybody was like, you won't like it. It's too sweet. And we had it and it was not too sweet.
Yeah, I do not recall that tablet.
But we're Americans.
I don't recall that tablet bowled me over necessarily, right? I didn't walk out of the room. Yeah, that's great.
It was a little bit like sucking on a sugar cube, but that's okay.
That's okay. Barbara says she's enjoying an Iron Brew as we speak. That's awesome.
Oh, the
now I'm jealous.
Best orange.
Iron Brew is delicious,
beverage.
Man.
Well, I won't say that. I do love an orange soda. Okay. Not that I drink a lot of soda anyway.
Now, will there be anything on the back? There will be. Is the T going on the back?
The T is going on the front.
The T is going to go in between these letters?
The letters.
Okay, wonderful.
No, the only thing going on the back is going to be the strap, which we will get to momentarily.
The thing on the back is a strap. Now, are you going to be doing the decorative X stitching or not?
Why not? You know?
Well, I can imagine it being necessary because it's going to a child.
Well, yes, but they're just decorative. I don't know if it's actually going to do anything for stability, but we will do it anyway. For funsies.
All right, so you're tying off. Is that the first or that's both round of the straight stitches there?
Both rounds.
Both rounds of the straight stitches. Okay, so when you flip this over, we're going to see a finished product.
No.
No, not a finished. I mean, the finished Lazy Daisy stitches.
So there's our leafy bits.
It was about 17 and a half minutes, give or take, to do the Lazy Daisy stitches there.
Noted. All right, now I need my pink thread. I quite literally just grabbed this stuff and ran from the barn, so I didn't get out my threads like I normally do. It's okay. So I'm using 3 strands of thread because that is my typical for things. And I'm going to add this with straight, like a running stitch as well, just to the front here. And then we'll put the magnet on the front.
And the T is going to go on in no time. And this is great. An added designy bit, Sean. Thank you, Audrey. I appreciate that. That's great. And we just, we had a message today in our customer service inbox. If any of you don't have the Monogram alphabet set and you're curious, they're about 1¼ inch tall, let's say. And then they range in
quarter
width.
of an inch to a 1¼ wide.
Yeah, from about 1/4 inch to 1¼ wide. In case looking at Lizzie's fingers on the camera doesn't exactly give you the size that you're looking for.
Yes.
Barbara says, I love the printable handout for the rainbows. Would it be possible to have one for all of your felt colors? That's the second time we've reached that question. And the short answer is that we have to run that past the graphic design department and see how much time and energy they have to be able to generate something like that. You weren't supposed to sigh at that. We could have left that all completely alone.
I would love to do all of the things.
Mm-hmm.
But I do require sleep and sustenance sometimes. So if and when we get to a quieter part of the year, unfortunately, we are heading into the busiest part of the year.
Yeah, we are cruising ahead in the busiest part of the year right now. But that's great. It's good to know that people are finding the rainbow handout to be such a good...
And I would love to do that thing.
Yeah.
Not right
this And the good news is that, the template is sort of built out there a little bit. Isn't it? No, I'm crazy. I'm sorry. I just meant you have a page with a bunch of circles. That's all.
I have a page with a bunch of circles, but then you've got to find the right color, and then you've got to change all the text, and
When you say find the right color, you mean every single one of those colors you had to kind of reverse engineer the Pantone? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because we don't have Pantone colors for the felt for the most part.
Right.
So I have to go through, and I've done that for a lot of them, for some behind the scenes graphics that I do. However, not all of them. And
it's okay.
It just takes more time than you might think.
We've opened Pandora's box.
We have.
But if you want me to open up an account on Fiverr.com, to farm this out, I'd be happy to.
I don't want some college kid home for the summer.
College kid? Oh no. I would never. I would never imply we leave this up to Chat GPT to get it done for us.
I think it's
that's all the college kids know how to do these days. That's what I'm saying.
Not interested.
I know, okay.
In the AI. The AI is oh no.
Well, if Barbara's got a follow-up, she feels probably very comfortable putting it into the chat now.
I'm sorry, Barbara. That was
not as we worked our way through it. The short answer is we totally understand it'd be an awesome resource.
And I would love to.
Yeah.
Not right now.
That's it. That's the answer.
Yes.
We did great. We did great. And you've got that T on there already.
I do.
Look at that bad boy.
And I tied off both legs of the T, Jones. You're going to give me a hard time about
You tied off the top of the T and then the... No, you did not.
Why would I make that up?
Why would you not do the... What? Okay.
La, 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 la.
Okay, there you go, everybody. If you're in the chat and you would have done...
You know what?
The top and the bottom
I don't need
legs of the T without tying it off, please let me know.
Where is the purple thread?
I don't know. Where is the purple thread?
Excuse me? Oh, that is...
Is it a
really
skein?
all the purple that I...
Or are we missing like an entire
You know what?
skein?
We're going to... Yeah, I just don't have it in here. I must
Okay.
have dropped it. We are going... Oh, yeah, because I took it to the camp thing, or to the library.
Where do I have to go and get purple?
You don't. I'm going to use contrasting colors. That's what we're going to do. We're going to use a contrasting color because we can.
That top box might fall off.
No.
Renee says, thanks for the boho rainbow colors. Exactly what she was looking for. And she has a big felt order coming up. That's great.
I'm glad that it was helpful. I really am glad that they're helpful. I genuinely do want to be as...
Yeah. And also,
as I can.
Kelly Smith in the UK just said that she would also tie off the letter T in the way that you did. Look at that. Okay.
See?
This is good to know. All right.
Okay. So, since we're doing contrasting colors, we're not using the orchid color. We are using the poolside color, which is 964.
People are cheering that you've pivoted so strongly. Way to go. Way to go.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't need it to match. I was actually thinking about doing contrasting colors anyway, and now I'll just do them in all the places, not just...
What's great about this project is that after we give it to our 5-year-old for her to play with, we're going to find out all of the alternate uses of the Scissor Keeper. So I know that a lot of you are regulars around here, but if you come back in a few weeks...
I'm guessing Barbie hammock, or Barbie...
When you come back in a few weeks, you're going to be able to find out what the Scissor Keeper could be for other than keeping scissors. I can't wait to update you all on that.
It will be fascinating. That is true.
It'll be absolutely... Yeah, fascinating is one word for it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take one of these magnets, which are very strong, and watch your fingers.
Like me.
So, you're going to take one of your magnets. Well, first, we're going to place... Now, this is going on the back so that it's smooth on the front, and then this will be hidden inside of our pocket. So we're just going to do a running stitch around. And I like to go around like a little over halfway before I put my magnet in there, because your magnet will attract your needle. And then you'll be yanking your needle off of the magnet the whole time. Okay, Chuckles.
You don't want any jokes about... You don't want to know what Andy's talking about Chat GPT over here. So you don't want that. Barbara says party hats. You know what, Barbara?
You're not wrong.
Mine holds her... Oh, they're her little bingo... Blues and bingo little characters, Barbara said.
Uh-huh.
Her granddaughters, Bluey and Bingo.
We are very familiar with Bluey and Bingo.
Bluey and Bingo in this house.
Which may or may not be why I was so quick on the Ladybird reference.
Oh, sure. Do they talk about ladybirds on Bluey?
They do.
No, so you said you like to sew about halfway around.
Halfway around.
Before you add the magnet.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm going to slip that right in there. And then just continue. And your needle will want to attract. So just... hold on to it.
I think I was over 3/4 of the way around when I was able to shove my magnet into my spring flower at the library stitching event.
It's stuck. Okay, come on now.
You can do it.
Yeah, I mean you can go halfway, 3/4 of the way as long as you can slip the magnet in there. You're good, in good shape. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue around
until that circle is finished. Now, is this the circle when we have added magnetic closures to other things? This is the circle that you've always used?
Yes.
So when I put a magnet on my Love Notes die to make my business card
that one
holder,
actually had.
Okay, so that one did have
die.
a circle. But when we added the magnets to the spring flowers.
Yes, and I've done magnets with like the autumn apple for the fridge.
Okay, so this is your preferred circular shape throughout all of our die catalog.
It's just the one that I think
to perfectly fit these magnets. Okay.
Partly because this is what it was designed for. Like it was designed to be a magnety thing. Yeah, you
designed it to be a magnety thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do we say what diameter or size these magnets are for
15 millimeters.
This is the fifth. That was when I was coming back upstairs with them.
It was.
They're 15 by 3 millimeters.
They are.
Okay.
Now, I also have used a 14 millimeter magnetic snap with success.
Okay.
I really like those. I don't know that I have one up here right now.
I'm sorry, the difference between a magnet and a magnetic snap?
A magnetic snap has like 2 parts.
Okay.
That one has like a it's like a male and a female part.
Okay.
And they have like prongs that go.
They sort of nest into each other.
Well, yes, but they also, each side on the back of them, they have prongs that go through the fabric. So that it's just an alternate way to close, like purses and stuff.
Got it.
And I've used those as
well. So not just like a snap push button.
No. Here I am trying to tie off while my needle is being suctioned to attracted to my... Okay. All right, so that's done.
For this side of the...
Yes. Now...
And as we said earlier, you did that on the exterior.
Yeah.
So the circle is purple.
The circle is purple, but it doesn't have to be because it's going on the inside of the pocket.
That blue
Ultimately, it will go inside, so then you won't see...
So the inside of the liner will then be perfectly smooth.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're going to do the strap.
The strap comes next. Okay, so step 1 was any kind of... I'm sorry, what's the phrase I'm looking for again?
Decorative bits.
Decorative bits.
Designy bits.
Designy bits. So step 1 was designy bits.
Yes.
And then step 2... was get the magnet in there.
Yes.
On the inside of the outside.
And now that piece is pretty much done. Like I could add beads, but I'm not going to because it's going to a child.
Yeah, it's going to a child. And then the next step is the strap.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you wanted to add beads, it's a nice thing to be able to add beads to, but not today. Okay. So.
And if you're watching, you have questions about beads, you can see some of our earlier videos where we do beads and sequins and give you little time codes. Because I've been very encouraged by people who have said that they've never really tried any beading or sequencing until they've seen some of the videos. We've had people say that before.
Yeah. No, it seems harder than it is.
Yeah, if you're out there watching in Poshtaverse land now or later, and you have color stories, and you've never used the beads or the sequins in the color story, just get after it.
Yeah, it's really...
You'll be doing it in no time. It's a great way to add some sparkle, and it doesn't take a ton of time.
Yeah, this guy, it's not that many beads, but it adds just enough.
Yeah, just enough. It makes you look very fancy.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to feel fancier than you look, I promise.
I feel fancy.
Okay, so the strap is getting attached to the exterior.
No, first we're going to stitch on the strappy stitches.
Stitch on the strappy stitches?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
I look forward to you explaining that further in just a moment.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to start not at the end.
Audrey says, I keep seeing a pizza slice here. I think we need a sauce layer and some toppings. LOL. Oh my gosh, there would be like a like a pizza face details die to go with the Scissor Keeper. That's what we're doing.
or the classic evergreen. That would be a good pizza slice.
Does that mean that a Ninja Turtle would be coming there after? some kind
I'm
of...
afraid we might have to be working with some licensing for that to be...
I feel like I could connect us to the licensing people for that one.
So again, we're not starting on the end for the strap. We're starting there kind of in the middle.
Sure.
Before that first row of... that second row of perpendicular dots.
Okay.
And we're going to go around.
So you're stitching the two parts of the strap together?
Yeah. First, you know what? First we're going to do this side. This bit here. That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
You can do it the other way, but this way I don't have to worry about hiding any ends. Okay. So we'll come through the side here instead first. And we're going to go across. This essentially at the end is a magnet pocket. It's just square instead of round.
I'm sorry, what?
This is a magnet pocket down here. And it's just square instead of round. So that is what they'll attract each other.
Got it.
And I went with the gecko thread for fun. Just for fun.
Oh, okay, here we go. It's going to get going here in just a second again. Because somebody sees a wedge of watermelon here in this triangular shape.
Okay.
And Andy agrees that it looks like pizza and wanted to ask Audrey how she feels about Hawaiian pizza.
Uh-oh.
And here we go. Here we go.
I'm not wading into this one because I don't eat ham anyway.
Victoria says pineapple and pepperoni. Okay. She said that pretty quickly. Like she couldn't get to her keyboard fast enough. To talk about some of her favorite pizza toppings.
I'm going to come through here.
Okay.
And I'm going to tie off here.
And that's where the magnet is or no?
It will be.
It will be there.
In a moment.
Okay. So how many sides did you just stitch?
I've just stitched that one
through the middle.
Yes.
So there are 4 sides to that part of the magnet closure, and you've stitched one of the sides.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like a U shape, so I'll be doing the other 2 sides very soon. Here.
Oh, okay, great.
I'm just going to tuck those up into the strap, the ends, up into the strap. Now, I'm going to come back to this. It's the 3rd hole down. If you're counting holes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go around.
Why are we doing it this way?
As opposed to...
I don't know. Just tell me more about what you're doing. In my head, you're sewing together 2 rectangles, but we're being very particular about how the rectangles are being sewn together.
Well, because I don't want to have to hide ends by pulling them through the sides. If I do it this way, I don't have to worry about that. And then we're not doing this part yet because it's going to get stitched onto that.
Okay, got it. So you wouldn't just stitch the whole thing all the way around and then essentially when you attach it, do more stitching.
You'd be double stitching that rectangle.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you could double stitch that if you wanted to.
Could.
Yeah, okay.
But
there'd be nothing detrimental about doing that.
I guess. I mean, it would just look, that one section would look really bulky compared to, the rest of it.
So you're looking for some elegance here.
Sure. Yes, I guess so.
He says while chomping on a mouthful of ice.
Right,
so you want to just be real elegant, huh, babe?
Well done.
You want to keep it real elegant, like, okay.
He says we can't have a fan in this room because it'll be too noisy, and then he goes and munches on ice.
Look, if the ice is there, if the ice is in the beverage, I'm gonna chew on it, okay? I'm gonna chomp on it. Someone says I'm currently stitching the coin purse to resemble a slice of watermelon.
Oh,
okay, there you go. All right.
Okay. I think there might be
There might be a round of hide and seek.
There might be hide and
played
seek happening
because we can hear
counting.
We can hear. It's not just a counting. It's like a real muffled counting.
Yes.
Coming through with the babysitter, I can hear like 1.
All right, so you're going to take your magnet and you're going to slip it right inside the pocket there.
Okay.
And then before you finish sewing, just make sure that they connect.
So make sure you have the north and the south facing the right direction there.
Yes. And then just keep going around.
Oh, this is a great question. Okay,
What's that?
Keep doing that. Well, I'm going to let you finish, and then I'll get back to the question in the chat.
Okay.
I don't want to cut you off.
You're fine. I'm just going to be running, stitching all the way up and then...
Barbara wanted to know if anybody ever uses a bead reamer. I'm not so sure.
Quite honestly, don't even know what that is.
I'm not sure that I know what a bead reamer is. Should I be Googling this?
Sure.
Okay, here I go. You can both tell me while I'm Googling at the same time. I know there's a bit of a time gap. But what is a bead reamer? Okay, so it looks like some kind of owl. It looks like an owl. It does look like AWL. And there's a video about how to use it, but if I turn that on, I'm going to... Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I have never used a bead reamer. That sounds to me like a thing that would make your hole larger, but we use glass beads, and that would be bad news bears.
I'm not sure. Let's see.
All right.
We've got other people asking, so we're going to sort this out for certain here. This is great. I used the witch's hat for a watermelon, Renee wants Kelly to know. Yeah, Renee's just grabbing anything she can find and trying to turn it into a watermelon here. The witch's hat, there you go.
The watermelon has occurred to me. I just didn't get to it this summer. But there are many things.
Have you ever seen those videos on the internet about like how street vendors cut watermelons in some parts of the world? Have you seen these videos before? I saw one
the other day about making watermelon juice out of a whole watermelon, and that was wild to me. But
no, that's not it at all. It's like the way that someone can take, like someone with a lot of dexterity and practice can take a whole watermelon and like cradle it in their arm and then like cut it in just such a pattern that then like bloop, 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 you can pull the watermelon apart into pieces. No. It's pretty incredible. Okay, the bell ringing gloves are done. Time to put decorative patches on my camp hat.
Oh, fun.
That's great, Deb. Thanks for checking in there. Karen says that it cleans out the whole of the bead. That's what the bead reamer is for. It's like a file for inside the holes on beads.
Interesting.
Huh.
I have not used a bead reamer. We use a lot of silver lined beads.
Mm-hmm.
My concern is if you used something like that, it might damage the silver lining.
Why would you need to clean out the inside hole of a bead?
I mean, depending on who makes them, how they're made, I think there can be like residue. I've never had problems with our beads like that.
Like whatever the bead is made out of, there's like some excess material, like kind of gunking up the center.
I think
that's what we think we're talking about.
But I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. I've never had a problem with our beads such that I needed to do something like that. And again, our beads are often either silver lined or color lined, so I would be concerned about damaging the lining. But I could be wrong about this.
Do you suppose that there's a bead reamer over here? This is my next question to you.
I don't know.
It's a little bit of table talk there, I understand. Oh yeah, look at that. As soon as I start typing, there you go. Okay.
I have never used a bead reamer.
Okay, well.
I have tried to force a needle through a bead and cracked it in half.
I think that's, it just says here that, you know, it can be used to connect two holes that might not quite meet in hand-drilled beads.
Oh.
So if you have a bead,
So we just use, like, forged glass.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know that would be necessary.
Yeah, Barbara's with you. Barbara says, yes, you would not use them on silver-lined beads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just tying off the two ends now that I'm back at the beginning.
You got that strap completed?
No.
Oh, what?
Because it's got to connect to the... I mean, it's sewn all the way around the edges. If that's around 3 of the 4 edges.
3 of the 4 edges are sewn and pulled together. Okay, great. If you had told me it would take approximately 9 or 10 minutes to do the strap on the Scissor Keeper, I don't know that I would have believed you.
Well, I don't know what to say. It does. Yeah, there's definitely hide and seek happening in the house right now. It's kind of cute.
Either that or they're launching a rocket backwards. I don't know which it is yet.
It's funny. Okay. So, to connect the strap, take your back panel here. Sorry.
This is the back panel that we've not done any embellishing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're going to lay your strap over top.
Okay.
With the holes there.
Uh-huh.
And then you're going to stitch a running stitch through all 3 of those layers then. So you are connecting the strap to the Scissor Keeper itself.
And the Scissor Keeper die does not put the holes for the strap into... No.
So you would take this die here.
Uh-huh.
Because I didn't want... If you wanted to do something like this, you wouldn't want the strap holes in there. So you take a shape like this, place your strap holes, your placement holes, and then die cut a second time. Same thing with the front. When you go to do your circle, you take your front, place your circle, the holes only circle, and you run it through a second time.
Got it.
So that will cut that shape for you.
Okay.
Because like I said, if you wanted to do the ribbon tie top, all I do for a ribbon tie top is just tuck ribbon in on both sides as I'm sewing it together. So you don't need any sort of like closure infrastructure.
Got it. You're saying the reason that the die doesn't automatically punch those holes is because you can enclose this with a ribbon.
Yes.
And that you just said is you just stitch that through.
You just stitch it through the top edge there.
The top edge there. Okay, got it.
And so
you stitch it lives in between the 2 layers, I would imagine.
Yes. Okay. And this just stitching through secures it enough that you don't need any sort of other whatever. So okay, so I'm gonna start that there, coming through one of those holes, doesn't matter which hole, and you're gonna come up through all 3 layers, leave your tail on the inside, and then you're just going to do a running stitch all the way around. Okay.
And you're doing this in the same color that you used when you assembled the strap? Mm-hmm. So the gecko colored thread.
Yes.
Is what we have here.
Yes.
Okay.
But you could use whatever color.
Well, you would want to use the same color along the whole length of the strap, or no?
I would want to use the same color on the whole strap, but you know, to each their own. Design choices are unique to each of us. So we're just going to go ahead and go all the way around.
And once you've done that, then that part will be finished.
Yes. And then we can assemble the whole thing.
Karen says, I'm ringing the bell. Quilt binding is finished. Time to sew hexies now. Ooh, we're sewing hexies. Okay. I'll Google that so you don't have to unpack that.
They're hexagons, honey.
What?
Hexagon.
Yes, I know hexagons. You mean we're quilting in a hexagonal pattern?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. It seems like it's an English paper piecing tutorial here. Oh boy, look at that. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I'm making sure I'm on the...
Those are really pretty. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. What a blog here.
Careful, everybody. He's going to fall down a rabbit hole.
No, I'm already back. Already back. It was over before it started.
Uh-huh. All right.
And you checked that the magnet would connect up with the other half of the magnet earlier. I saw that happen.
Yes.
Okay. Because you would not want it to...
I would not want to do all this work and then find out that the thing that I just spent an hour and a smidge working on doesn't function. No, that would be a bummer.
Okay.
Now I'm going to double check it. Oh, look. I must have flipped it over. This is why we check. I must have flipped it over when I started attaching it to the thing, so I do need to flip it over.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
How are you going to flip it over?
I'm going to unstitch it.
All the stitching that we just did?
The 3 minutes of stitching I just did? Yes.
That's what I meant. Okay, so we're going to re-stitch it to make sure the magnet goes the right way.
Correct.
It's a good thing I brought this up.
Indeed.
Otherwise, not only would the Scissor Keeper not close, but because of who we're giving it to, she would not understand magnetism at all. She'd be totally confused.
No, she'd be very confused.
And it would all go back to that time that she was given a Scissor Keeper that the
yes,
magnets
thank you. Everything is Mom's fault.
No. This is a team effort. This is not... I realize you're doing all the stitching, but I thought I was contributing at least in some way, shape, or form here. But it appears that is not the case. All right.
So we are flipping it over.
Oh. You're just moving right on. Okay, great. Turns out any monkey could be sitting here with a laptop.
Now
all right.
we know that it works. Okay.
Great. Way to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Always double check your magnets.
Yeah, double and checking those magnets.
Double, triple, however many checks you need to give them. Check your magnets. Because it would be a real bummer to get done with this thing and then realize, it doesn't work.
It is amazing that they can make something that's only 3 millimeters thick and still be able to get a north side and a south side of the magnet, right?
Well, you know.
Is there anything sandwiched in between the two layers?
They come as thin as like a millimeter, I think, dear.
When they do something like that, are they making a magnet that is 2 layers that they're somehow fusing together or clamping into the little thing together?
I'm sorry. Do you really expect me to know the answer to this question?
I don't know that I do. No, I don't.
Are you just musing?
When I'm asking questions, I don't oftentimes necessarily think that you have the answer.
Okay, good, because I definitely do not have the answer to this.
But when was the last time you thought about the construction of a circular magnet and whether or not one side is...
I don't know that I have ever really given
legitimate thought. I haven't thought about it either. And now here I am thinking about it. And perhaps somebody in the chat either, knows a lot about this or maybe perhaps did not.
I don't know.
Oh, Deb says now she has Moving Right Along from the movie theater, the Gugga-Dug from the Muppet movie stuck in her head.
It's a good one.
Did I say Moving Right Along?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Deb once before in a chat mentioned that she was like picking up all the little musical snippets.
Yes.
So it turns out her brain must be as musically inclined as mine seems to be.
It seems.
Gugga-dug.
All right. Now we're going around the second time.
Okay.
Just to fill in all the open stitches. Here we go.
And then it's extra sturdy then when you're actually stitching the inside layer around it. In a little bit. When you stitch the inside liner, it adds some extra oomph. Barbara says, overthinking. All magnets have north and south ends.
There you go.
So you can't make a magnet that has all north?
I don't know what to say.
It's okay if the short answer is no. The short answer might just be like no. Not like it depends or maybe or in some instances or...
You are talking to a woman who designs craft products for a living.
Yeah, but you've used your fair share of magnets. I'm also thinking about this a little bit more closely than usual because I was just at the Works the other day.
That's true. You were at the
We were at like the little...
Hometown Science Museum.
Little Hometown Science Museum. Little science activity center for children. And we were working with some magnetism type stuff. So, I've got it on the brain here.
All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, no. I'm going to wait. And I'm going to tie this off. What did I do there? I don't even know. It's all stitched. It's fine. I'm going to do the decorative X's because I can. So I do just all of them in one direction first. So it looks like diagonal lines. Is that the right way? So. And then I will go back the other direction because then I'm tying off all in the same spot for everything. For all the stitching I just did. What now? Are you looking at magnets? He is.
I am. Now we're really...
He has fallen down a rabbit hole.
We are really... It turns out if you just Google about ring magnets and then click on images... You're going to see some stuff.
He's gone.
You're totally going to see some stuff, everybody.
He's not here with us any
Wow.
longer.
This is incredible. I think this is the most far gone I've ever been in a live.
It's a great time. Great time to fall down a rabbit hole, dear.
I looked over and it's like, whoa, okay. You can have a north end, but the other end will always be south, Barbara says. Huh. Okay.
So I'm going to anchor this under... another thread because I should have started it a slightly different way. So there, I've found myself a different anchor. There we go.
That's okay, great. You've got that anchored on.
Yep. There we go. Tie it off. Snip. Snip. So then we have our front and our back.
Okay.
And then we have the two center panels. Ta-da.
And you have the front and the back, and you have the magnet embedded in both the front and the back.
Yes.
So now we're just going to just pull everything together.
Correct.
And are you going to stitch all those layers at once? You are.
I am, except the top edges. The top edges you stitch separately first.
So that's what you're going to do right now.
Yes.
We're stitching just the top edges.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you sew all the way around, you then just have a triangle. You don't actually have a pocket. So you have to do the top edges first. Again, 3 strands of thread. If anyone wonders how many strands of thread I'm using, the answer, like 8 times out of 10, is going to be 3 strands of thread. Okay.
This is going to be one of those moments where I decide to move the camera around, because once you got the 2 layers and you're just pulling this thing together, I mean, it's going to be like taking a baby from a baby over here. Yeah, it's going to be just child's play at that point in time.
Apparently I did not pop out all of my holes.
That's okay. You just keep cruising over there.
So I'm going to start here at the corner.
Okay.
Just go all the way across on this side.
To sew those 2 ends together.
To sew just the top edge together.
And the needle book and the Scissor Keeper, they came out at the same time, did they not?
They did.
It was either 2022 or maybe 2023.
2023.
Was it part of the summer release, or no? That was like
no,
the
it was
autumn.
in August.
It was the part of the August release. Okay. And you really released these because you wanted them for yourself. Let's be real.
I mean,
right?
That's honestly the majority of the things that I release.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I understand that underlying most of the Pashta designs is that particular desire, right? Like, I'm designing the stuff that I want, right?
I want that thing. I'm going to draw that
Yeah,
thing.
I drew a blue duck because I've never seen a blue duck, and quite frankly, I'd like to see a blue duck.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the driving force.
Blue ducks, yes.
And the color that you're using of thread is the color that is going to match the interior
Yep.
of the pocket. But you could do it the other way around. You could have done purple thread. The reason we didn't is because we couldn't find the purple thread.
Well, also, I wanted it to coordinate with this contrasting stitch here. But yes.
And I understand.
Purple thread is out in the barn in a tote bag.
Yes. But the Scissor Keeper, though, this isn't like, oh, I wanted to see a particular kind of ornament. This is like, no, I wanted to make my own carrying case.
I love these scissors.
Uh-huh.
They're gingers. And they come with like a leather sleeve thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that there would be a better way. I used to use these exclusively before I found these. But I use these now for when I'm like trying to like separate chunks of felt. Or when I'm cutting ribbon, or when I'm, there's lots of things.
They're your go-to sharps.
They're my go-to sharps. These are my go-to snips. These are my go-to sharps. Yes.
Okay.
They're very, very sharp, and they're a little bit heavy, but
the gingers, you said.
The gingers, yeah, but they're wonderful scissors.
And gingers must be the name of the company.
Ginger, yes.
How do you spell that?
Gingher, maybe. Ginger.
There it is. The Ginger sewing scissors. There. Okay.
I love them.
Careful, I just said the. I know Shari isn't here right now to tell me that it's not the Ginger. It's just Ginger. Ganger? Yeah. Ginger.
Ginger?
Ginger. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I love them. They're wonderful scissors. And I like being able to take them places. But I didn't really like the metal or the leather sleeve thing that comes with them because it's small. It's like the size of the strap.
Sure.
And like I'd lose it and forget about it. And never finding that again. So if they've got a pretty cute thing that I can keep them in.
Now, have you flown with the Scissor Keeper and your gingers inside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've gotten through.
Chicago.
Why I can't recall.
Yes.
We took a lot of things to Chicago.
I think.
And so I can't recall what did and did not get through.
I think under 3 inches, the blades have to be under 3 inches, and these blades are only from like here to here, so it's like 2-inch blades. But yes, I took those to Chicago, and they were fine.
Okay.
And I took them in this Scissor Keeper. So they have traveled.
All right, there you go. So your Scissor Keeper should be of the appropriate side to be TSA approved, as long as you're following all other TSA guidelines.
I will not guarantee anything.
I would not guarantee anything myself with the TSA. I'm just giving people a notion.
I will just say I have flown with them before.
Okay.
A couple times, actually. I took them to Iowa last year, too. All right. So once you get through that edge, you're going to tie off. And you're going to tuck your tail inside.
Okay.
Just a second here. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to open these two flaps apart. This would also make a really cute banner, wouldn't it? Anyway, flaps open, tuck them inside, tuck the ends inside, and then put this aside, and then do the other one in exactly the same way. Use the same running stitch.
And then when you get to pull it all together, you're going to be going through 4 layers simultaneously.
Yes.
In some ways, that's kind of the most challenging parts about the project, isn't it?
I guess. I know that there are people who really hate sewing through a bunch of layers. It's never really bothered me because the holes, I feel like, even if they're not exactly lined up, the holes still give you enough of a pathway that, like, you're not, like, there are some felt artists out there who, like, use pliers to pull their needle through a bunch of layers at a time, and the holes just make it so you don't have to do that.
I mean, I've certainly seen leather workers using pliers for something. I don't know that I've ever seen felt people doing that.
Well, good for you. I have. So, it happens.
Andy advocates a TSA-approved filter on the website for any and all dyes that are and are not TSA-approved. Just a thought.
I've gotten a lot of things through the TSA. Now, I'm not saying they haven't stopped and searched my bag pretty extensively.
Oh, sure. That's because they know you have a criminal mind and no fingerprints. So, is Newberry, are you pre-screened in Newberry? I don't know if that's we're talking about TSA, maybe that's a TMI situation, but
I do have no fingerprints.
Andy strikes me as a guy
of the criminal.
The criminal mind. You're gonna take the high road on criminal mind, huh? Okay, well, I get it. I mean, I realize the camera is still rolling.
It is.
Okay.
They're viewers.
Oh, certainly.
No. I don't have I mean, I might have a criminal mind, but I'm not using it for that. I just use it to figure out mystery novels before they're over.
You're using it to get your dice through TSA. We recently traveled with some spices, thinking it was a great wedding gift.
Those did not get
And turns
TSA.
out, if you're ever traveling with spices that you think would be a great wedding gift,
Don't
or maybe
wrap
just
it.
for yourself. No, well, first of all, no. First of all, it should go in your checked luggage.
Yes.
Not your carry-on. So checked luggage, you're totally fine with spices and herbs. You are not fine in the carry-on bag.
No.
They will unwrap them if you've gift wrapped them.
Yeah.
They will then test the exterior of the jars, of each individual jar in the spice mix medley.
Anything flags.
Then they will open it,
and
and then they will test it anew.
So
yes.
Don't fly with spices.
He said, Newberry says he was pre-screened until he got caught with an illegal pasta sign item the last time I flew. Now I've got to go back and look through all of our crafters that live in Connecticut and figure out which alias is secretly Andy Newberry.
That's right. What's your shopping alias, Andy?
Yeah, what's your handle there, big dog? You know that he's got an alias just at the ready.
I'm sure.
And he's going to hit us with it when we least expect it.
I know.
Mm-hmm. So sneaky like that.
Sneaky.
Very, very sneaky. I've been thinking about camp a lot this week in the heat. Let me just say.
Oh, boy.
I've been thinking a lot about just what it would be like to be at camp.
At a Boy Scout camp this week.
I remember that last year when I was in the Frontier Patrol down in the Easy Bake Oven. That's why we called it that, because it was HOTT hot. He says his alias is Randy I'm going to close the laptop. That's so funny. Karen says, I just took the dogs out. Man, it's hot.
It's so hot.
I found out that the deer made a salad out of my biggest hosta. Well, Karen, that's why
why we don't have hostas anymore.
I was going to tell Karen, that's why you don't put your dressing. Don't put your salad dressing on your hostas. That's what, there you go, right there. There's your problem right there. You had the all balsamic vinaigrette out again. Randy Rubin.
I wonder if your mom is still watching it.
Mom hasn't checked in today. She's my mom. If she's been watching, she's not been in the chat because she's out there putting together one of the color stories for the July release. So this is usually the time of day when we start leaking stuff. So be careful here. Be careful what you're doing here.
I got so much.
We're about 70 minutes in. This is when the leaks start happening.
Yeah, and I'm extra tired this week, so anything could happen.
Uh-huh.
I need a cookie.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned cookies because there was this is a non sequitur, but there are Selena Gomez Signature Series Oreos at the grocery store today. A very large display of them. Like maybe they thought they couldn't sell them without
cinnamon. Did they add cinnamon or something?
How did you know that?
Because she is a Latina. And I figured they were going the Mexican chocolate route.
Wow, look at that. I didn't bring any home. So, okay, everybody. Thanks for... Yep, Karen. Deer have found mine. Mom's got the angry faced emoji. Mom's watching. Victoria, there are no sneak peeks for July.
No, well, no. They're all out in the barn.
They're all out in the barn right now because we're still working with them, Victoria. No sneaky peeks are within.
If only. There's a lot.
We're working through a bunch of the color stories right now. That's what we're doing.
Okay. So
I can see you've brought out your measuring tape.
I've roughly measured my thread.
You brought out your measuring tape here.
All right.
Mom is not happy about the deer. That is a very angry emoji there.
Oh, man.
In the hostas. There you go.
Yeah, we used to have hostas off the side of the porch.
She says she's been here. There you go, everybody.
There you go.
There you go.
Here we go. There's some thread for my outer...
For your outer edges.
Outer edges.
Okay.
Oopsie.
The launch date, Barbara, is going to be on Saturday.
The 5th.
July the 5th. The 5th. So it's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Don't look at your calendar, but it's coming up soon.
I have to look at my calendar.
Like all great Posh to Design releases, it's going to be a race to the finish.
No, one of these days, I'm going to get ahead.
Don't worry, we're going to make it happen. Is anybody watching any good television that they can recommend in case I'm packaging a lot of...
The Residents.
What? Stop. How... We live together. No, you're supposed to ask somebody outside of the household. What is the Wait, is it residence with a CE or is it residence with a TS?
CE.
The residence.
You can use the magnet to help keep it together while you're stitching.
Oh, that's a pro tip.
Yeah.
Okay, pro tip is use the magnet to hold your own project together while you're stitching it.
I'm just going to come between. So my thread is between the two poolside layers here. Sorry, I watched The Residents while I was sewing into the wee hours while you were sleeping this week and last week.
Okay.
It's great. It's a mystery.
Oh, great.
But it's like, it's so clever and fun. Has anyone watched this?
On what platform are we talking here?
It is on Netflix.
It's on Netflix,
yes.
Okay. Barbara, yes, Saturday the 5th. That's next week. You're right, Barbara.
I know. I know.
It's okay.
We might
what? No. What? No. I think I just heard you say you're going to give it the old PUSH.
No.
That's what I thought you were going to say. You're going to...
No, I was going to say maybe we won't be here on Tuesday because I will be having a panic attack is what I was going to say.
Oh, no. We'll be here on Tuesday. We'll have the panic attack live. That's fine. We'll do it live. That's okay.
Panic Attack Live.
No one's watching. Apparently, no one has any recommendations because they're just binge watching Stitching Live with Lizzie and Sean.
The Residents was really good, and then I watched. I think it's called The Inside Man.
You know, for my money, it just doesn't get any better than when they sing "When a Man Loves a Woman." We saw the new Snow White movie. It's got too much CGI. Okay.
The new what now?
There's a new Snow White movie.
Oh.
It would seem. And
I think she looks like Lord Farquaad because her hair is too straight.
I'm not sure who Lord Farquaad is.
He's the goofy little tiny Prince Napoleon style dude in Shrek.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed Paradise, someone has said. Thank you, Shelley.
Well, Paradise does sound nice right now. That's for sure.
You think that there's a cabana in Paradise?
I would hope so.
Do you think there will ever be a pasta designed felt element included on a television show, like in a background?
I do not.
Or certainly not maybe not like a plot, like you think someone's walks.
No,
walks
I do not think there's a plot point with a pasta design.
You don't think so? I don't know, man. Kelly says that Dark on Netflix is about time travel. Oh, well, it will help us time travel to the release so that we can get there faster.
I will say there should be a language warning for the residents in some spots.
I don't think that you have to tell the folks in our chat that there is a language warning.
Well,
like they're on their own there, okay? They're taking their Scissor Keepers and their spices through TSA with or without our guidance, and they're going to watch television shows with or without.
Well, I just thought if anyone is sensitive to...
Audrey says her hair bugged me the whole movie, Lizzie.
See?
That's great.
Looks like Lord Farquaad. They could have just given her some waves. And...
Barbara says we've watched the new Sliders, but not as good as the old ones. Oh. Victoria is finishing SAS Rogue Heroes Series 2.
I have no idea what that is.
Hang on. SAS Rogue Heroes? Okay. I'm sorry that I don't remember what it's during World War II, I believe. Maybe is when it's set. Okay. There you go. We should know it. Oh yeah, I mean Special Air Service. Oh. It's a special forces unit within the British Army. Founded in 1941. Okay, got it. Thank you.
The Residence is a murder mystery set in the White House, and there's like congressional hearings. It's very funny.
Oh, yeah, you've already lost. That's it. I'm not even a little bit interested.
But I think you would like it.
No, don't do that. One of my least favorite. So I've told people, maybe I've said this on the show before. One of my least favorite words in the English language is should. I don't like the word should.
I didn't say should. I said I think you
And then
would
I was
like
about
it.
to say that one of my least favorite phrases in the English language is, "Oh, you know who would love this."
Yes, I know, but you just asked for recommendations, so
I asked for your benefit, and I solicited them.
Well, I
solicited the recommendations. When people are like, "Oh, you know who would love this?"
No, but that's what I'm saying. You solicited it. I gave you one, and you're like, nah.
No. You just told me something that you really loved watching.
It
That's
was
totally
so
different.
Good. I think you would like it. It's very clever.
Oh boy, clever.
Yes.
I don't know. Am I into clever shows? I mean, am I into television and stuff that's clever?
It's a Michael Schur show, just like
Michael Schur. Oh yeah, I don't know.
But you liked The Good Place a lot.
The Good Place was pretty good.
Oh, don't give me that nonsense. You loved The Good Place.
Okay, it was all right. We watched Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, which is a spinoff from Young Sheldon.
I've seen clips of said show.
Someone else has recommended Murder in a Small Town. It's on Fox, but maybe they just moved it to Hulu. Oh, you can't recommend Hulu to Lizzie because she doesn't do commercials anymore.
I hate commercials so much. Tilly loves commercials, and I'm just like, every time a commercial comes on and she's excited to watch it, like my eye starts to twitch. I'm not even kidding.
I laugh because when you told me you started not really appreciating commercials, I was like, oh, what's the big deal? And then we watched something that had commercials in it on Hulu.
And you watched
and the amount of fury was so... Are you ready for me to put this on the full screen, by the way? Okay, I should do that thing. I just cannot believe how how poorly behaved you were when it came to that.
Poorly behaved.
Someone says this.
That's why I haven't watched Only Murders in the Building, because I cannot tolerate.
Someone says, I'm waiting for the new series of Ghosts in the USA because ours has finished. Oh, no, thank you. Ugh, I don't watch anything about ghosts.
Anything like that.
This weekend, I'll be mostly watching the Austrian GP. I believe that stands for Grand Prix. And I think that means probably Formula One racing or something.
Yeah, probably.
Deb also likes the Ghosts. Kelly says she has to mute the advertisements. There you go. And Barbara also, they mute the commercials.
I cannot do it. It drives me absolutely
Oh, wow. You guys are so funny. This is great.
I am a child of the 80s and 90s. I cannot.
And that means you should be able to handle commercials.
No, it means I have done my time. Is what that means.
Wow. Oh, boy.
I can't do it.
This is great.
I pay extra for Peacock without ads.
I'm about to wonder if I should be. I'm about to wonder if I should be paying extra for Hulu just so that you can have a whole new world of products or television to watch. Ghost is funny, not scary. Okay, if you say so, sure. All right.
Oh, that's right. That's that one where it's like silly and there's like a Native American guy and there's a Victorian lady and there's
it's okay.
Isn't that the one?
I have listen, everybody. If you haven't followed me on Instagram before, my handle is books, bro. Like I don't watch a lot in the television, so your products could end up on TV if there's ever a show for felt and stitching dye hoarders. Is what Kelly says. There you go.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
We've got people, everybody, the most active the chat has been today has been talking about how much people don't like commercials. See? There you go. Wow. So that means we can never turn on YouTube commercials and earn a little extra scratch for these stitching lives, right?
I think YouTube does it to us. Like, I don't think...
Oh, you think that when people are watching this after the fact that there are ads?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know that that's the case.
I'm so sorry, but I think so. Because I've tried to figure out how to take them off of the videos that I do for, like, the kits and stuff, and I could not figure it out.
Tanya dislikes commercials so much, she used the STUPID word. That word's not allowed in this house.
No,
it's
the
only word in this house that you're not allowed to say.
Tilly'll give you an earful.
There you go. Okay.
I just made a knot.
Kelly says it's a good thing to have hoarders. There you go.
Okay.
For our products. That's great. If anybody ever spots, in the background a little keepsake ornaments extra, just let us know, right. Okay? If you can find it in the United States, try the Detectorist. Detectorist?
I loved Midsummer Murders from the UK. I loved that show.
The only shows that I've watched recently I'm watching stuff that came out in like 2017 and 2018.
Yeah.
So I'm so far behind on, watching anything. It's not even funny.
I only watch things when I'm stitching at night when like nobody else is around, and it's nice to have.
Tanya's laughing out loud. Tell Tilly that she's sorry. Don't worry, she can't hear you. It's okay. Also, she can't read quite yet either. Nope. So we're okay with that.
And she's hesitant because she wants to be read to.
She wants to be read to so much. Yeah.
She does not want to learn to read because that would mean.
Our suspicion is that she feels as if, well, if I learn to read, then you'll stop reading to me. So forget that nonsense.
We won't do that.
Deb also loves Midsummer Murders. There you go. Oh, Barbara quite loves Ugly Betty, which her granddaughter got her watching. There you go. That's a throwback.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was something I thought about watching.
I feel like we were still in college when Ugly Betty was on, weren't we? All of a sudden, I got this flash in my head of like our old tube television, like how it used to be set up on those display cases we took from Walden Books.
We did not take them.
They were offered to us.
Them away.
Yeah, sure, but they were still offered to us.
It's not a theft situation.
Of course not. We would never thieve unwanted displays from a former retail establishment. Yeah. Victoria loves a New Zealand show called The Broken Wood Mysteries.
Oh.
Okay.
See, I love a mystery because I like to figure things out. But
you like to figure things out because you usually figure them out really early in the book or the show, and then you get to feel good about yourself. You get to feel a little smug.
Well, I mean,
throughout the whole.
There are worse things
than feeling smug
about a television show or a book.
All right.
I'm not like...
I understand that.
I'm not like smug with people.
I understand
in my regular everyday.
Okay, all right.
I just like to point out that I figured out who did the thing in like the 3rd chapter.
Well, thank you for everyone who's put in their recommendations. And of course, if you're watching this later and you drop a recommendation in the regular comments,
hi, Chatter.
We'll get a little notification that someone put a comment up. So we'll be able to check in.
I try and check in. I don't always do a great job because... right now I'm Up to my eyeballs.
I think we do a fair job of checking in. You know, great, maybe not, good, you know, maybe in a stretch.
Doing okay.
We do prioritize we try to prioritize the customer service electronic mails.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Those are the only email notifications I get on my phone. I've had a, you know, I got my first smartphone right back in, it would have been like 2011 or so. Turned off the email notifications immediately.
Oh, I've always had those.
Oh, no, I've never had email notifications come through on my phone. And then when I started working for Poshta and wanted to make sure we were timely with the customer service emails, I downloaded a whole new email app just so that I could set up the information on that so I can get right to it. Mm-hmm. And if you ever want to get a quick response for customer service, you email us during lunchtime because that's the only time of the day that Lizzie and I are together.
And sitting.
And looking each other in the eye. Yeah. So if you ever have a question
dinner,
and you want a really quick response.
We don't look at our phones during dinner.
Yeah, yeah. Right, you're right about lunchtime. That's how you know that Sean's going to be like, hey, so-and-so wants to know. Someone actually the other day reached out and their email said, Sean, will you ask Lizzie? So some people have already figured out customer service is, it's not exactly a straight line there, but it's pretty close. Okay. It says if you like mysteries, you might like BritBox. Yeah. BritBox is the best for the old mysteries. Okay. If you want a book to read, try the Thursday Murder Club. Oh. Victoria's trying to supplant me as the person who brings home mysteries from the library for you to read. Stop it, Victoria.
He does.
That's my department.
I have so little time to read.
That my department is, you're going to love this mystery that I brought home for you.
He brings home a book and he's like, here, I think you'll like this. And then I will go to read it. And the next thing I know, he's saying, hey, can I take that book back? Because someone else has requested it.
No.
It's not that I don't want to read them. It's that...
Barbara said, yes, that worked great. Barbara's one of the people who must have emailed. I think that was around lunchtime.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and schedule send this for about 12:45 Eastern time.
All right, so I'm done. I'm just tying off.
You think you finished this thing off?
I know I have.
Oh, you know you have. That's great. Okay.
You think you have? Yes, I think I might have.
You're just going to finish. You're just going to finish tucking the tag in there.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just tucking the tails now. I'm going in through the.
Oh, Victoria's encouraging you to try it as an audiobook. That's interesting because you used to say the audiobooks would put you to sleep.
They do.
But I don't. But I don't think you've ever tried. Have you ever tried an audiobook while stitching?
No.
You've never done that.
But here's the thing. I'm very visual. I'm afraid I wouldn't remember any of it.
Oh, that's perfect. Then you would know what my life is like.
If I'm not looking at something, like if I'm not reading it myself, forget it. It's not going to stick.
So you're saying you have very little imagination. That's what you're saying. No. In summary.
He's eating the lunch alone today, folks. So maybe save your questions
lunch
for tomorrow.
Lunch is over. We've already had lunch. It was delicious. We had our usuals. I can't wait to see the Scissor Keeper. Are we going to put it back down on the table again?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to have to get ready for the picture-in-picture then. I'm going to set this up right here so that it's like right in the middle of the ye olde camera. Oh boy.
So I know where to put it.
Yeah, that's your mark. Karen said, no, that's a mom thing. I don't know what that means. Karen, it's a mom thing that moms can't sew and listen to something at the same time and be able to keep track? Is that what we're talking about?
You have to see it. You can't just hear it.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So here you go. Here's my finished Scissor Keeper to go with our little needle book. So there's a set. Did you put the thingy on the thingy? No, you didn't.
No, I didn't because I just got a text from my mom saying she's clocking out. So I'm saying goodbye. Jeez. Want me to put my phone down?
I went out and told her goodbye early.
I did that too, but she's also she's so nice.
She is.
That she's sending us a text out there. Okay, there you go, everybody. Look at that. Awesome. Here, I'll go full screen. That looks so nice. I'm going to go full screen with that. Look. Bloop.
So then we can put a pair of Tilly's little safety scissors.
Right there in the top.
Inside the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And she can have the set. Just like that.
There you are, everyone. So that's our new Color Story cabana turned into... And you know what? Before seeing these on camera like this, I don't know that I ever would have looked at cabana and thought to myself, that is the perfect color story for a needle book and a scissor keeper. Remember, in my head,
also for Tilly, because this is like her favorite color.
All needle books are what's the color story?
Scenic Route.
Yeah, Scenic Route. Right, in my head.
Because mine is Scenic Route.
Yeah, because the original one. All I can ever think about is like what the original one looked like.
Yeah, mine is Scenic Route, so you assume all of them are Scenic Route, but no. No, I think it's cute.
Okay, so there you go. Look at that, everyone.
There you go.
So if you haven't had a chance to get a scissor keeper together yet, hopefully that helps you if you ever decide to assemble one. And that was a tidy little bit of business. We're just now at like the 1 hour and 30-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, they come together pretty quick.
Super duper quickly. And now you have something safe to put your scissors into.
Yes.
There you go. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Next week... we're going to do this thing? This is what I'm saying.
Is next week is the week of the release, and my brain might be melting.
Yeah, but we do have something on the calendar, and it's the Sweet Treats Popsicle.
Yes.
Yeah, Sweet Treats Popsicle is supposed to be next week. So
I will do my best.
We will do our best to be here. There you go. And hopefully you all have a great week.
Yes.
And you beat the heat. And if you don't beat the heat, that's okay too.
It's not okay if you don't beat the heat.
You got your arms there in the old
Sorry.
camera. I'm just saying. I didn't know if you knew, but you've got your arms right there next to what's happening on that. Okay, everybody, we're going to cut the live from there.
Yeah.
So let me put Lizzie back on the front. There she is.
Hello.
Hello.
I told Sean this week it's going to be hard for people to know which video is which, because the only things I wear in the summertime are t-shirts and rompers.
And my answer was let them live. You wear all the t-shirts you want to, everybody. Okay. Toodaloo, y'all.
Bye,
Thanks for
everybody.
checking.